Now we're stepping into our second match of the night.
Second match of the night is going to be Skrewwl00se versus OpiWrites. Two very skilled players in their own right.
Oh, absolutely. Starting with Skrewwl00se. Skrewwl00se also had a very, very strong run through group stage. Coming out of Group E, he went first in that with ease, going 3-0. I believe he had one less loss in all group stages than Lazy Bear did. Excuse me, one more loss.
One more lost map, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. One game, which not too shabby.
Not too shabby at all. Very impressive stuff coming out of him. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, you get Skrewwl00se, who didn't. No, sorry, that was Skrewwl00se. My bad. On the other side of things, you get. I can't find him. Where's Opie on here?
Opie was in the group of death. Group G.
Oh my god. And he came out top of the group as well. 2 wins and a draw. Same as Dowsey. Actually, they got basically identical scores on that. Only drew against each other, same game differential.
Yeah, it came down to, I think, the third tiebreaker on that one. And that put Opie into this bracket, while Dowsey had to go into the Crazy Kaylee bracket, which, unfortunately, they had an epic barn burner of a match that was cast yesterday. That Crazy Kaylee barely snuck by in overtime.
Not just extra time. Sudden death extra time on balcony.
Which, for the first time that happened in this entire tournament, was entirely worth it.
Oh my god, yes. That was a heck of a match.
Okay, well, we've already seen one very, very close match. It's finished 7-3, even though it seemed a lot closer, especially after the comeback started happening. Let's see if Skrewwl00se and Opie can duplicate that.
Absolutely. Just to reiterate for those who maybe weren't here at the start of the cast, the match format is as follows. We play 6 maps. Each player plays once as each role on each map for a total of 12 games. So if somebody gets to 7, they win. If we're tied 6-6 after all of that, we go into 3 maps of extra time, followed by, if we're still tied, sudden death balcony, which we will cross that bridge when we get there, but I don't believe there's anything left for us to talk about. Let's jump straight on into this. It's gonna be Aquarium to open up the festivities of this last match of the quarterfinals, with Skrewwl00se starting things out on the spy side, OpiWrites on the sniper, in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
It's going to be really interesting to see these styles. At this point, it's hard to label anyone except for maybe Crazy Kaylee as a pure camper or behavioralist or anything, especially at the higher levels. But Skrewwl00se and Opie both have reputations, as at least as far as the newer players go, as being more of the camper styles. So it'll be interesting to see how that translates to this set of venues.
Skrewwl00se looked like he was looking for the early seduce there, but didn't want to be third at a bookcase, so just winds up stepping out to the front windows, checks the watch a couple of times, very impatient for the seduction target to get out of there, and actually picks up a highlight on the way out as well.
Opie heard me and wanted to just say, I'm not a camper.
Not a camper!
That was a clear behavioralist highlight. I mean, I'm not even sure what it was for necessarily, but Skrewwl00se is currently a highlight without any mission progress done whatsoever.
Definitely not what you want to see as Skrewwl00se, but the problem is, as Skrewwl00se, you have no idea.
Nope, absolutely not. That was such a casual highlight, too. Just kind of catching him on the way by. Skrewwl00se probably doesn't even know that he's highlight.
Big bug path by the ambassador does take. The hand was behind the shark, so it was invisible, but the hat was very clearly seen, so you can't be sure about the bug, but you can be very suspicious of it because of that path.
Yeah, but look, Wheel steps in right next to the ambassador and picks up the shoe highlight, or the tire rim highlight for the possible bug as well.
Picking up the first flirt finally, a white test for 34%, and a banana split afterwards. The contact and the immediate step away as we step into bar.
Not much in the way of lowlights from that. So it looks like that came off pretty well. But time to figure out what we do next. We pick up the delegate here. The problem is it's just so hard to get that off, especially if Opie is tunneling on us even a little bit.
Bar hasn't been hugely busy either, so that doesn't make things any easier. Back in the conversation we go with the seduction target. Gonna wait our turn to talk and then pick up our next flirt. Or we're just gonna interrupt, pick up a green test for 85%.
Yeah, very rude, but sometimes you have to get it done, especially coming down here. We have a minute and a half left. We have the delegate in our pocket, and we still need one more flirt. But if we don't let the delegate go, then we could be in trouble with time here, getting one more mission done.
Could be. Time is starting to tick down. It's a minute and 15.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we're just going to take the timer flirt here with a minute left to go. That's kind of a risky play. Nope, looks like we're going to step away.
Looks like he was considering it, but decides to take a trip by the front windows first to speed it up just a little bit. Delegate cooldown has expired, so we're not getting any purloin shenanigans going off just yet. The seduction target, though, goes for the briefcase, and that's a big wrench in skrewwl00se's plans. Has to redirect to the statues.
Yep, and you don't want to see that either. That's such a suspicious move, especially this late in the game. So we'll have to see what he does. We have to pick up one more flirt and then one more inspect. That's going to be so tough.
Just takes the bullet for it. Can't even get to the second statue visit. And OpiWrites with a statement shot on the foot under the shark to open up the match.
Yeah, it looks like whatever tipped him off with that highlight at the very beginning must have really had him staring him down. And maybe he didn't want to risk there being a swap behind the shark there to finish. It's hard to say, but he was clearly very much in control of that game the entire time from the sniper side.
Yeah, the I don't want you to swap here shot, I think, is probably what that was. It worked out for him as he's stepping in to the spy side of Aquarium with skrewwl00se on the sniper in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Kind of want Opie to go for the cheesy time mad there in the time mad corner, but he just steps away, comes back to looks like a seduction target, and we'll pick up an early flirt.
An early green flirt at that for 51%. Always nice to see. Doing a little bit of looking around, but there's not a whole lot to see right now. Double Agent is not being friendly. Ambassador is not putting his hands on stuff.
Nope, it's pretty a slow party so far. A little bit of bar activity, one person inspecting, but that's about it. So I guess we just have to take it slow, see what the party gives us, and wait for something to develop here.
Now the double agent is in position, and a lot of people in conversations as well. This feels like a great time to contact, but unbeknownst to us, the other suspected double agent is nowhere near. Luckily doesn't go for that contact, even though it seemed very tempting, and just steps in for the other seduction target instead. There's the flirt coming off, and it is another close screen, so that's the flirt done.
Yep, and just like in the last match, greens are, if you hit 2 greens, it opens up the game for you so much. It gives you so many more options. You don't have to come back to the same seduction target again. So let's see what OP does now with this one mission done here. Looks like we're going to step into bar.
Bar's interesting because there hasn't been a whole lot of activity there, and it's pretty early in the game. So if we're going to go for some sort of delegate here, it's mainly a timing play to try to sneak something by skrewwl00se when he's not paying attention to it.
Yeah, definitely true, but as you just said, without very many bar visits, if skrewwl00se is all on top of it, he'll be narrowing down the party so much if he does take the delegate here.
Back into conversation with the double agent once more, but once again, the suspected double agent not in the other conversation. She is just not being friendly to us right now. Finally enters our conversation, though not the one we want, as our conversation starts to... Oh no, it's a cough! It's okay, it was behind the shark, everything's fine, but we're still going to get a good number of lowlights from this.
Maybe not as many as you thought, though. It doesn't look like skrewwl00se was really on top of who was talking and who was not. So we might have gotten away with that pretty cleanly.
Yeah, it's just 3 lowlights. Not nearly as much as you want, but it's still a contact's worth. There's the purloin pen coming off. The swap is coming off. skrewwl00se is trying to get a look at the statue and can't. 1 second. Now he sees it, but it's not in time. And OpiWrites picks up a second.
So that was actually a lot like one of the matches on Aquarium from the last match. You timed the purloin and the swap to go off basically simultaneously.
Yeah, the timing is very nice from OpiWrites there. The shark was a little bit helpful as well. It was just very, very nice stuff coming out from Opie, and it all turns out just as he drew it up. Now, stepping into the pub with skrewwl00se on the spy side, Opie on the sniper. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
skrewwl00se on the same character as OP just played. Seduction target comes to us though in this conversation circle, so we'll always take that. But once again, we take a white, not a green, which really ruins things for all of us.
I'd like to point out that I said that if Opie went for a purloin play, it would be a timing play rather than a memory one. And it was, just not in the way I was expecting.
Yeah, looks like we might be setting up here for a reverse drive-by as the ambassador walks past us.
This could be good, but Opie has it covered! Tries to go for the double walking bug and gets it off, but not clean enough. Opie is on top of things. It's 3-0.
I really like the thought there and the try, but he just has the perfect angle. He sees it all the way. Nothing much to say about that one.
Nothing much to say indeed. An attempted bug that was actually quite nice, but just hits that right click a split second too early, and the arm goes down on camera. Opie on top of things, and on the spy side now. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yep, so Opie is opting to keep purloin on and fingerprint off, which is a choice that many spies make.
Stepping in to the bar for the first flirt is a pretty high-value mission site to open the game. 27% off of a white flirt with a bit of distance on it. Is not great, but not terrible. Means you have to hit a green on one of your second two if you want to 3-flirt it.
Yep, but given the number of people who were here at the bar before us, we're wasting a lot of time just waiting for our drink.
Luckily, it's a 3 of 5 map, so you've got some time to waste.
Yep, absolutely true. We pick up a highlight. Oh, wait, no. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is probably just bar tracking. I don't think it's anything to be worried about.
It's probably right. We did take the delegate with the refuse, which it's esoteric, but there is a bit of a hardtail there if you catch it.
There's that green test flirt we were looking for, brings us up to 73%, and means we can absolutely rely upon a 3-flirt.
Yep, absolutely, but we're ticking down to 2 minutes now. We still need to do our contact. We still need to find one more mission.
Speaking of contact, takes a fake one. A very good time for it. Only one lowlight goes off from it, and OpiWrites in a very inconspicuous spot for it.
Yeah, but we don't get rewarded with a lowlight or even brought down to neutral because of it.
But look at how many suspects that's created. Everyone but Taft and Opie could have a possible reel now.
Yep, definitely true. Oh, and there's the neutral light. So we do get rewarded for the fake. Very, very nice play.
Flirt cooldown has expired. We could just completely ignore this action test, but we hit a green just for good measure. The Seduce is now done with 1:20 left to play.
Yep, but we're down. Again, the clock is wound down. We still need to find one more mission as well as the contact, assuming we're going to go for the real contact at some point.
Also, based off the timing of that neutral light, yeah, I think the highlight was just for bar tracking.
Yeah, I would agree. So what are we going to do here? Looks like we could be setting up for a possible bug attempt.
It will be Kane's side if we walk for it. We do walk for it, but we take it wide. It's a bad angle, and it gets caught from Skrewwl00se either way. Skrewwl00se finds himself on the board, 3-1.
Yeah, and he needed that. Just like in the last match, you have to stop that bleeding and then start your comeback here.
Opie in chat saying he wanted a wrong arm bug. Wanted to start inward, take the wrong arm bug, and then swing wide so it looked like it wasn't a possible bug. But winds up sticking out that cane and taking a bullet for it instead. Would have been awesome if it came off, but didn't go as planned. Now Skrewwl00se finds himself with a point and on the spy side of Tayen in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yep, just like we saw from Plastics last time, we have Smallman as our SDA for obvious reasons.
Skrewwl00se hanging out in the back. This is the spy spot on this map. That and where Duke is to set up for reverse drive-by bugs, but doesn't want to hang around. Instead, wants to pick up this first flirt.
Yeah, but not before we take a drink.
Ain't nothing wrong with a bit of drinking. Ambassador steps into a very buggable position with a man in between us, but now that Rocker's stepped away, it's a little bit less tempting. Now that the Ambassador moved, it's even less tempting still.
Yeah, unfortunately, we had just taken that drink too, which took away the opportunity to do the standing bug there on that side.
Oh, I've forgotten about the drink. 26% on the first flirt, hitting a white test, which is not ideal.
No, but again, flirt isn't all that difficult to complete on this venue. With all the occlusion and the very, very tight conversation circles, it's not all that tough to just walk around, come back, get your flirts done.
Yeah, it is. It is a small venue, very short walking distances. 2 minutes and 5 left to play, and very, very little progress, though.
Yeah, I wonder what Skrewwl00se's plan is here. As we've said many times tonight, he could be looking for a frame, or he could just be scoping things out, hoping for an opportunity. Like, for example, Ambassador's in the... Oh, never mind. Was in a fairly buggable position there.
Well, second flirt comes off. We're only up to 56%, so it's going to have to be a fairly close green if we want to finish this up in 3. Not the position you want to be in.
No, but also Ambassador's been touching a lot of things here, leaving fingerprints all over the place, so that could definitely be an avenue to complete here if we do choose to finish missions.
Absolutely, but Skrewwl00se stepping all the way in the back for a watch check instead. Not even a time ad, just a watch check, and goes for the briefcase that is not fingerprintable. This is not looking good for Skrewwl00se.
No, it almost feels like he's let this game get away from him.
Very much so. At this point, with a minute left to play and not a single completion, I think we just have to go all in on a frame here.
Yeah, and we even picked up the highlight for that briefcase. This is not great. This is not great at all.
Green test, Purloin stepping into the front conversation as well. No, actually just going to the windows. I was kind of expecting to see a fake contact here to try to get somebody shot, but instead just goes right into the front and time adds in Opie's face.
I mean, you have to respect a man who can trust his greens like that, because you have to think a white test there just gets him shot immediately.
White test, speaking of, not able to hit the 3 flirt, it's going to be 4. The Purloin still hasn't come off either. Reject City over here. 1 minute to play.
Yeah, and if you're hoping to get somebody else shot, this is your best chance. You just have to make sure that they're in this conversation circle as you do your banana bread,
There's
whoever
the
takes
Purloin
it.
has come off. I think it was Queen. And she's talking, but we're not taking any fake contacts here. That would have been the moment.
Well, there's no SDA, there's no double agent or SDA in any conversation circle.
Yeah, that sucks.
No, that's not great if you're Skrewwl00se here.
There's the bug coming across the back. A pretty nice little move. I think it was completely invisible. 25 seconds to play. Another time ad from the back. This one was white. The beep beeps get cut off.
But we get it right next to Queen, who then picks up a briefcase. Queen could be trying to get shot here.
Very much so. We shall see how Opie plays this.
It's down to us and Queen.
And we
Who will
still
keep the
only
bullet?
have 2 mission completions. Here's the fake contact coming off.
And the end of red.
Neither
we're
of us were in
talking.
conversation with the suspected double agent. There was no suspected double agent in conversation. Everything's falling apart for Skrewwl00se. This game is so bad.
The Queen's here right next to Ambassador. We could be getting credit for a bug here for Queen.
There's the flirt coming off. There's the contact again. Now both of us are in conversation with the suspected double agent. The Queen takes the bullet. Finally, it happens. And Skrewwl00se picks up a second game.
Wow, that 50-50 shot. Queen just looked like she was more done. That had to have been it.
And the end of red.
You could tell Opie was having some indecision there about who to take the shot on. Went to Skrewwl00se first and then thought better of it, but man,
wow.
Oh man, these games are stressing me out, man.
Well, that was about as tense as it gets.
And the end of red.
But it worked out for Skrewwl00se. It's now 3-2, and Skrewwl00se on the sniper side has a chance to tie this up at 3. OpiWrites might have something else to say about it from the spy side. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
All right. So the situation here is Opie stepping in as twin. Our other twin is our other seduction target.
This is the bug setup on this map. Also able to hit a green flirt off the top of the game, but not quite close enough, only 48%. And if you've been paying attention to all of the other green flirts on this cast so far, the best you can possibly get off a single one is 51%, so that's unfortunate.
It is. Also, look at the shoji setup here. It's all on statue side, so basically the entire half of the venue is open, which is not great either if you're on the spy. You want as much occlusion as possible on either side of you to cover up potential moves, but this is not great for Opie at all, really.
It's not great indeed. Unfortunately, the bug doesn't have a whole lot of cover on it either, or that could have been a great moment. Now stepping back in for the second flirt, wisely putting a bit of distance between himself and his seduction target because he knows he can't get it done in 2.
Yep,
it's
and
a
Opie's
white
taking
test this time for 77%.
Yeah, Opie's taking this one so slowly. Looks like we're just trying to see what the party will give us, and the answer is not a lot yet.
Yeah. Opie running into the same problems that Skrewwl00se had. Hopefully he won't have to take 2 time ads to get it done, but I mean, I guess it worked out for Skrewwl00se.
Yeah, although I mean, barely, but it worked.
Fake contact coming off. This is you can tell what Opie's thought process is here. He wants someone else to take the bullet.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it. And that was actually a really good one because the suspected double agent was not in our circle, whereas the real double agent was in the other circle. So
another fake contact. That's going to let off some lowlights, but luckily that front conversation still has a bunch of people in it.
Yeah, and we have so little suspicion now, probably. I mean, 2 banana breads, both with us in this conversation circle with no SDA. People will often do 1 fake, but very rarely 2.
Yeah. Very interesting play. Green test, Purloin comes off from the back. Let's see how long this takes. Purloins can be very, very hard to figure out on this map. There's the take, comes off pretty much immediately. I don't think it's been noticed yet. Now it's very much on camera.
Yeah, and it was a lowlight who took it, though.
This could be bad. Gets the bug off. The shot comes off, and it's not the right one. OpiWrites splits Taeyen. It's 4-2.
Alright, so Opie just stops the bleeding right there.
Yeah. Pretty good to see. Usually, like, when you get off to those early leads like that, you want to do everything you can to hold on to them. And Opie is doing just that as he steps into the sniper side of Library. Skrewwl00se on the spy in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Alright, Screw has to feel like he's in okay shape here. I mean, down 2, not great, but also not insurmountable either.
Yeah, this is a format where you have a little bit more time to work with. If you were in a situation like this in the group stages, you would be very, very sad. But here in the quarterfinals, we've got time.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're taking this one slow to start with. We just picked up a white flirt at the windows here. We're stepping in now. Looks like we're picking up a book and going immediately for an action test microfilm.
It's a green test, but it didn't have to be. Opie was on the other end of the map, so that's a pretty good start for skrewwl00se. I don't even know if he got seen at that bookcase at all. That could be huge.
That could definitely be huge, yeah. You just have to get away with one more, and that's a hardtail mission done. But we're stepping in here. It looks like we were hoping the seduction target would come to us, but instead we're just talking here innocently and waiting to see what happens next.
Hoping for the seduction target, instead got the ambassador, and thus OpiWrites' attention.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're just idling here for a little bit, hoping to maybe lower our suspicion level. We're not going to take this drink, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it looks like we are indeed not. Just sort of scoping out the party, seeing what we can see. What we're seeing is a double agent at bookcases with the ambassador there with him. Ambassador is putting himself in a lot of weird positions where we can't get any bugs off, though.
Definitely true, but he's also touching stuff, which is something that you do like to see.
That is very true, but we've already been to Blue Bookcase. We don't necessarily want to go back again because we weren't seen there. Seduction target is all the way on the other end of the map, and that's what skrewwl00se eventually decides to go for, but the seduction target's a jerk sometimes!
But fortunately he stops. We can just stop in right here, pick up another flirt, and we're good.
It wasn't pretty, but it did come off.
Yep. Waiter offers us a drink. Looks like we're actually going to take it here. Just a very innocent drink take.
Fair enough. I was hoping we'd go into bookcase, but taking the drink, it looks like skrewwl00se has other plans. Hopefully those plans involves getting missions done, because with 2 minutes left to play, we don't have a single one yet.
No, and this is pretty rough. Unless we do some time match shenanigans, which, as we've seen, can certainly happen.
Oh yes.
We're going to have to rush at the end to get things done. Or, again, hope that somebody else gets shot.
skrewwl00se does seem to so love his time ads as we step into the yellow bookcase to try to finish up this microfilm. We've got Toby on this side, but the ambassador on the other. The ambassador's moving, though, so we're going to have to get this done quickly.
Yep, there it is.
It comes
completely off camera.
Opie zoomed in on the statues on the other end of the map, and we get out of there again before we're seen at bookcase. We have got the transfer done and have not been seen with a book at any point.
Yeah, and we take the banana bread and step into statues here, but we pick up the highlight anyway, looking like it could have been a split.
Indeed, highlight comes off, either for the split or for the rote statue highlight. 2 missions done. We've got 2 flirts and 2 inspects in pocket, but we still need to get both of those missions done and something else besides.
Alright, so our shape is much better than it was before, but still, how did we finish here? Well, that's one way of doing it.
The skrewwl00se has probably just earned the title of Captain Time Ad from me, and I think OpiWrites is starting to catch on because bullets have occurred, and Opie is up 5-2.
Yeah, it was right on camera. Opie was all over it. As soon as the time flipped up, he saw skrewwl00se checking his watch right there on camera as the timer went up. That's rough.
Yeah. Either way, Opie on top of things, starting the next game right next to the ambassador. We'll see if we're able to react fast enough to get a bug off here. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. Nope, we went opposite directions.
And unfortunately, we had the drink in our hand too, which also didn't make things easy.
Oh, hi. Oh, the bug gets the wrong arm coming across, drink in hand. A gorgeous bug coming out from OpiWrites, and that is a fast start.
That was such a good bug. I'm not even sure if it was on screen, and it was if any of it was on screen, it was completely invisible.
I love it so much. Well done, Opie.
Yeah, so if you're Opie, not to belabor the obvious, but that's an awesome start.
It is.
You have to really, really like the position that you're
The
in.
plan now is time management, steady progress. Just don't let the clock get away from you. And a green flirt for 51% is exactly the way to start.
Yeah, Opie is in such great shape right now.
You love to see it.
Unless you're Screwloose, in which case you saw nothing.
Well, even if you're Screwloose, you would have loved to see it.
That's a good point.
Setting up next to the double agent, trying to see what's available, and it looks like we're going in for the next flirt here.
Yep. With nothing else better to do, you can always finish with your flirt, which we do with another green test.
2 greens! Flirt is already done. Bug is already done. Just under 3 minutes to play. Things are looking good for Opie as he steps into the blue bookcase.
Yep, absolutely. Taking a book out, looks like it's going to get marked, but we're standing here doing absolutely nothing. Maybe hoping the camera will swing away so we can take a microfilm.
That's always the hope, isn't it?
But the ambassador's walking over, making it less likely, and we just put the book back and move on with our lives. So time is ticking down some. We're down now to about 2:15. Still just have the 2 missions done. We still have the banana bread available to us for a free mission, essentially. But we still have to get a bunch of other progress done here. So hopefully we're not letting time take away too much. We're still okay, but yeah.
Back in an innocent conversation, not the kind of thing you'll want to see out of Opie. Would have liked to see him move a little bit faster here, but we're still fine, all things considered, as long as we can get a good lineup of possibilities.
Looks like we're eyeing that briefcase, hoping that maybe once the ambassador steps away far enough, we can pick it up.
No, it looks like that is in fact not the plan. We're going to the double agent to pick up a contact, and it is a good time for it. 2 suspected double agents in with at least a few other people each, although they're starting to empty out now. Taking a green purloin on the way out as well. Double agent could very easily distract from this pretty nicely. But the double agent steps away from it, so we're not going to have the opportunity. This is the second hardtail getting done.
Yep, and still hasn't come off yet either.
No, Toby decided to hightail it to the other end of the map, which is great for us. Not only time delay, but space delay as well, and we didn't even have to take the move. Now the list gets taken.
By a highlight too, but it looks like we take a low. The taker got low lit for it.
Yeah, got a good look at the fade, but I don't think Screwloose knows where this came from. That low light was 1 of 2.
Yeah, so Opie looks like he's in great shape, but we're down to 30 seconds left.
So much for looking like we're in great shape. We had such a strong start, but it's starting to fall away from us, it looks like. Not able to get center statues there. There's the contact and go. 1 more mission. Doesn't matter. The shot comes off, and Opie takes game number 6, finds himself on match point.
Yeah, Screwloose just wasn't sure where the purloin came from, so just assumed it was someone in the same conversation circle.
Winds up in a little bit of a panicky position. Feels like he has to take a shot now that the hardtail is showing and isn't able to find the correct one. Opie with 4 match points before Screwloose is able to get himself to extra time. Let's see if it happens as Screwloose steps into the spy side of Modern in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And worth noting, Opie has never lost a sniper game in competitive Modern.
I mean, Modern is not easy for Spy, but good gravy, that is a statistic.
And it just makes this such an insurmountable hill for Screwloose here. I mean, he certainly could bring it back. We've seen some Spy wins on Modern in this tournament, but this is a rough ask.
It is, but if Screwloose can pick up this, I might start believing in the comeback. Until that time, I don't know.
Well, and we're on orange dress too, one of the slowest characters in the game. The slowest, I believe, actually.
Getting the time ads in early is Skrewwl00se.
Somewhere, Ponu was smiling and nodding.
Oh my god. So is like most of the chat, probably.
That's probably a fair bet as well.
Second flirt comes off to 51%. Not usually something I get to say, but that is a close white and a max range white.
Well, with the timeout, essentially we're in the place where we've hit one green close flirt at the very beginning. That's where we're at, essentially.
That's fine. We take those, I guess.
Yeah, but we have to get moving here. Like I said, orange dress, the slowest character in the game, and Modern, one of the most difficult maps to control your time on. We have to get moving here and get mission progress.
Orange dress, not a fast character either.
No, yeah, the slowest one, I believe. Between her and Pearls.
In conversation with the double agent now. Not a bad time for it, but opts not to. Instead goes into bar with the seduction target. Hits a green flirt as well, so that's the flirt done in 3. It looked like it was 2 because 51 into green flirt is usually a 2 flirt, but nope, that was 3.
Yep, but even so, we're in. That's it's nice. We pick up our flirt, we get one mission done, and we pick up. We just walk away, actually.
Into green bookcase we go. We've had some pretty long walking paths as orange dress. Not something you necessarily want. Here we are at the other end of the map.
And we're just sitting here. Looks like we're waiting for the camera to swing way up, and there's the microphone.
Oh, that zoom in I thought was going to be a shot, but luckily, Opie didn't see the head turn as he was swinging around. That was an extremely bug path, but no reaction from Opie. I'm sure he was guarding it and was confident it didn't happen.
Definitely, and in fact, that might be a great way to reduce suspicion. Take an obvious bug path and trust that the sniper is on enough to realize that you didn't bug.
Very bold move, but something you can do.
But once again, we're idling here. We're in a conversation circle with nobody. Time is down to 2 minutes. How do we get done here?
This is after a time ad has already come off as well.
Yeah, we're leaving here and just walking out to the time ad corner.
Yep. We're going out to the dark corner of the map. It's a regular watch. It's not a time ad. Even though Skrewwl00se probably needs it at this point. Back in we go. You do not want to be voluntarily taking these long walking paths as orange dress. We don't have time for this. Already down to 1 minute and 30 and haven't even made it to another pad yet.
The only thing I can think of is that Skrewwl00se is fishing for a lowlight with all these long paths and idling. But it's not working. He picks up the highlight for going into statues here. Skrewwl00se's game plan is falling apart right in front of us.
Can't hit the green fingerprint either, so he's not going to be able to get the difficult. Minute and 15, 2 inspects, a microfilm, and... Sorry, 2 inspects, half a microfilm, and the flirt done. Another time ad coming off here, this one white.
Yep, it's just us and Kane here at the windows, if OPs know this. Yep, here come the lowlights.
Lowlights. I believe it's down to 2. Everything falling apart for Skrewwl00se.
This has worked for us once. The time at 50-50 has worked for us once, but on Taeyan, a much different situation than on Modern.
There's no way this is going to happen again. I don't believe it. I don't believe it's Skrewwl00se. Well, actually, it's not down to 2, it's down to 3 because Smallman.
Of course. You have to keep Smallman in.
Always keep Smallman in.
But nonetheless, even down to 3, with 1 minute left to go, so many missions left to complete, we're in terrible, terrible shape. So unless Smallman or Kane does something very, very spy-like, very, very fast, we're pretty much screwed here. Either we're not going to finish missions, or we're going to have to force a hardtail and get shot.
Gets a fingerprint off the drink and goes right into briefcase. 2 fingerprints done, but this is another very, very long walking path with 45 seconds left to play. We've got 2 missions done. What's the play here?
Smallman and Kane are giving us no help at all. Maybe we go for another time ad. I don't know, but this is not good for us. How do we finish?
it's a decent drink cancel coming out of the briefcase, but too little too late, delegating to Miss B. But even with that, even with the statues, it's not going to be enough unless we swap this, and I don't see us getting away with that at all. It is going to be the swap. There's no other option. The shot comes off immediately. OpiWrites in control of the match from start to finish and makes it happen. 7-2.
Wow. Opie just looked dominating this entire set.
Yeah, absolutely. It felt like Skrewwl00se was never able to get his foot in the door. Just was always behind on the clock. And OpiWrites figured it out and burned him for it time and again.
Yeah, I mean, the time ads, they worked for him the one time on Taeyeon, but otherwise, I mean, granted, a lot of them were by necessity rather than by design probably, but still, just didn't end up working out.
Yeah, and that is going to do it for us tonight. OpiWrites takes it against Skrewwl00se to go up against, I think it's Turnip Boy, right?
Yes, indeed. Turnip Boy making a very strong showing himself in this entire tournament. We have a couple Turnip Boy is certainly the dark horse going to semifinals here, but based on his form throughout this tournament, him versus OpiWrites should also be a great match. Both of these two semifinal matches are going to be incredible. I'm looking forward to them so much.